W.A.L.K. because they didn't know what was in our proposal. That's why they came, they made a lot of noise because they didn't know. But some of us, we knew what we were doing. Oh, I know, we will not make noise. That's why during that time when you saw there were scaffolds, there are people who were put into things they didn't know. For example, Bosmic team, even confess, there are people who just came to them because Bosmic was abroad. They never knew what was happening. So Bosmic also came. So that day now, the general wrote an email. Otherwise, okay, we can have a meeting with these people so that they know what's happening. They didn't know for us who were there talking for the whole industry. One power bear no kono can lock pengo p one can. Even them as musicians we are talking on kumberi chene mo no kimesa support the industry. Wono lo we mo me town pe one can. One watching it no because ana pay away. You get it. At time no, these people have to be recognized. And during that time, we had one of the people, UNCC, my elder chairman, and Sam Okelo. Okelo, where we are. And we are actually not supporting one by then. But to some way, somehow, uh, he didn't really support us much. He went, I think, on those side of the promoters. I don't know what happened. Because go ingewe ka no kinano chalo kunyi pere. But down when we love it, at a point. You never know you can support someone today and never know. Without expecting that person may support you. You know, God does the things in a using different ways.
Hustler Deo. Hustler Deo.
Hustler Deo.
Hustler Deo. Welcome to the On Purpose Hustler Deo podcast, where motivation, healing, and success all last. Real talk, good vibes, purpose on display.
When we are back to the present day, when you see your hard work and how you have been so consistent in the game, again, about a channel, a TAK organization that is called W.A.L.K. It's all about the Creative Arts Foundation, which is you are also involved. What really inspired you and the team to come up with something that is beneficial to the whole entire northern Uganda?
And teach paloloka and I don't know mali lawyer because in why Uganda no mere bet Uganda but loka ke Uganda dugu Buganda in anyway pangeo kitabegi getting that language to be called Uganda. That's why sometimes more ake wo not to Uganda kipenda le meme Uganda imer ki phone club loka it can understand actually tie maleti and different other language for them they want to dominate always. So those are things mado chwer tino lo our town e work betie oberu to le lockdown karma lockdown obiro no one expected man ma corona betie na dilo announcing mere oberu do ma de announcing mere je wo giko malubo entertainment industry and for announcing Kampala announcing the whole of Uganda. So more announcing the whole of Uganda noni one more kind of having events even in northern Uganda kan the way mo kano begeti shows no yogi beri northern Uganda kan but palo we no make be because ka event here no yini me auto deposit ball away and chala one more biro ka yupu shows inoni no ichulo venue ko ichulo deposit ball away posters go dey advertising je madu ata ano de karma Easter. So there are a lot of events. For example, chalo Great Steve had chulo actually this guy Levikson betki show money actually chulo venue a lot of those things entro majime no time do loka keria ko gigi chair government because now jime no beru chalo hazard mo time mano government umiro ukon dara matie loss balam go beru ki shows muno tika yupo ne muno ti luongo to di luongo madon chalo dia drug ba ko ngame be na bole so he spent millions of money also to organize madon ki gaya ngini manyo a lot of things madon yende timo so gen gi yupo ki promoters ma Kampala chair dia penyo government ne gi miro chende gidonye lost a lot of things mchene miete but pera mo berutie gen magitiaro gamero of course ga gini time penyoro time Kampala ke everyone was affected so jono ke beruke dia jalwa wono gam chene keyboard government umiro involving promoters when me Uganda so of course chim mawa ke solo you get the promoters we have to bet pay we can you get an executive man can represent promoters from northern Uganda. So the DJ Sam was a publicity. Mawano no and because they're low level matek. So kupe kerevere. Chana wajal. Yemong gini kupe with all Jamaican they organized events, promoters. Ako bero ping on now the way forward because kwenye kimio kimo working or but it's always good to do something. Even if I always try, you don't know opportunity come be. So waluo meeting go chimbo most of the promoters Juma Ngangage GF Juma Yubu shows so very show meeting actually but of course the few came because ingeo Juma kagi winyo meeting peke mero but ingeo sometimes kiluo meeting you never know what is there you can't predict what is there and the meeting can never be the same meeting maju no beruti kagwa ni no chere achero disappointing you the next one will disappoint you cannot predict the future so more low meeting one on why Juma ini bet chiama Juma why are busy Juma tiwa solo in bet chiama because solo in ngeo Juma kampala but you are our elder. Me, I cannot be the chairman of this thing because we were forming the Northern Uganda Promoters Association. So no mero committee mo or executive committee. So you mo kwa argi ni I'm going to be busy long because no don't know teach. They are teacher, I think no ya. So great Steve, no general secretary, Mambegwa. We invited other people never came. Chalo Madeke, we called him, he didn't come. There are other people, Steve also from Pine Avenue, he was contacted. A lot of promoters were contacted, but now you cannot force someone to come because that was a meeting. Mano Bwakchene pay, but for us we are going for the law where watemo wachuelo gena join mera. So that's how we did it. So more team Jimmy were very disappointed. It arranged a lot of meetings with Beruti because the general was here in Bulukai. So inoni cha weng lolakani bieno ke Kampala. Give meetings. I don't even know how they get the connections. Get generals. I don't know how they get the appointments. Then in Kume there was conversation going on to give give them money. Write down all your files. What make it? You concert or you show. He spending post actually adi chula way actually adi loss it actually adi. So they made different files. Karo la give you files me no ngamo kar mo no loss million mia di. Si wano one of you individual files. Chalo da you me file share lo make what. We are all looking at one billion one ben po wa share. Lo kana kar kar ya ge pija. Wano tame jibri water be. Meeting mo be keri actually ilu one make row t-shirt general betia ngare be Northern Uganda mara general bona na tame jiwe. We never got any money. No money facilitation.
Easy.
The real money, Jono Chama went. And during that time, we had one of the people, UNCC, my chairman, and Sam Okelo, and we are actually not supporting one by then. But to some way, somehow, he didn't really support us much. He went, I think, on those side of the promoters. I don't know what happened. Because ingewe ka no kinano chalo kunyi pere. But down when we love it, connect at a point. You never know you can support someone today and never know. Without expecting that person may support you. God does the things in using different ways. So one for no change. Then again, chalo promoters, we gave up. Why is okay? We'll keep on pushing slowly. Don't get one again, one choir. Oh, don't fall away. When that federation again was formed. Uganda Musician Association, which way meeting, Piero, president of Beranga. That is now where this Laxi mover comes in. Uberi attack center. So for us, we just say no. We appointed Laxi mover. We are there in the team. Where you take a chill. But my federation because one that was forming that federation. No, actually federation for promoters. But promoters they were not organized. You don't organizing again. And why was that thing happening? Because any car after the lockdown, when Bobby Wine came, they saw how the artists or the music industry came and was going to take over the government. That's the reason why the music is a big threat. They have to recognize the industry. So how do you organize the industry? Because still it was very hard to organize the industry because industry one pebero chalo industry maybe of doctors, of engineers, mano ichere kwana school chiki me certificate recognize any engineer any doctor industry make industry someone can wake up one day don't studio where away don't go in the way you see kumbe digaro can around with a smartphone like you have seen it's now a lot don't you make TikTok why any content creator because we don't have any what streamline any content creator carry class when you are session TMK being recommending why you have passed out. Can be that's why our industry was disorganized. So the government determined Kongi streamline the industry.
Exactly.
So they had to use now Eddie Kenzo. This is why they use Eddie Kenzo, because he was going internationally, he was doing a lot of shows internationally, a lot of things. And it was also a threat to them because he was also in the side of Bobby Wine. He used to support Bobby Wine. Yes. So, maybe they use those artists, get away superstars. And we might influential. Now, may I tell you, me a billion on a beach as the government. Billion on a beach, actually sub-region, which was headed by Laxi in the federation, Makawai Gaman. 15 million they can know. Because for us also promoters, we decided to come together as one. Chalo Creative Industries, we are also under actually Gamma. Even me as I talk right now about so I'm under Gamma. I registered there, I even paid my membership fee there. But no wa yo nika gimo tie kibero ka achiel kitimo Jimmy Wang. Ka gimo e kano bino, but now join magino million par ko ngumi el mapela without even contacting us. Yet we were there in the steering committee, but parliament, we formed something like a parliament. Matem promoter, and no biru lead, mu uniting one or bit is over here, down when representing. That is how that Gamma came, by the way. But those are stories which have not been told in any way. But that's how Gamma came. Because for us, in the steering committee, we had questions. Because, like for us, we could contact Eddie Kenzo. Me, I can contact Eddie Kenzo. I have his number. I can even go and meet him at his home. You get it. Even there, the federation, we are the people who used to first go. So for us, we had questions. We know wrong question. Come billion a bit. 15 million. Can. No pocket power. My room. I carry the sub regions. Doing billion a bit. Can you power maybe with 19 sub regions? Can you get tongue here? You know, only will one no go bay around maybe 500 million or maybe 300 million, but not 15 million. But you know, million power bichalo diet. Kongo miel okay. That was the first time. We are one way. No, we need to form our own things. One more, no child actually you one me come me Uganda. One promo yap account wa failing me yap account. Kaya tier laboratory mo in America, makinoni actually background manage account. Actually check pay yene yap account. One promo gamane pero chwale wa chene direct board wa. Mada ko mirje mo bit through middleman or bit through la. Because what time teach care but we fail because we are not honest. See what time one tell actually also kelao labor win. Kara moja begi win labor. Ke West Nile. There's a bit of honesty. Because when we unite, it can be bigger. That's how we sat down to write those proposals.
Exactly.
So when we wrote the proposal, making sure unfortunately, the way Paul artists, this is a fact. Most artists are very greedy people. Very, very greedy people. They think about themselves. Gimo cannot be determined is about musicians. That's why actually that federation is music federation. There's nothing there. They are recognizing content creators. There's nothing in the federation. They are recognizing maybe Juma Goy, Chal, Lumiel, and the rest. It's a musicians federation. But one way no, one yap, the Makalwani walk, West Nile, actually Lao Karamoja, creative arts. But we're recognizing the whole creative industry because they contribute. You're not carrying away my didn't. Where build a way, you don't be taking doing about me. Everything out of money, more about me, make me choy, wait, my bay. Each year, where I will wake born at any. Ching a tell away when you pay a dear me go away. Each year, a studio producer go be my bay, voicing in. I not on my about me, you're a mate, making sure any mixing and mastering. Sound engineer or mix and mastering, you know, be my bay, chairbo, quana. Anyway, spend a lot of money. He has contributed to make that song a masterpiece. In a tell way in a radio station, presenter are promoting. It tell about DJ or go in. Anyway, so the DJ plays the song gets known. In a promoter don't go in him, where the local show, promoter risking chair and the organizing show. In a being maybe pay doing stage. MC will wait at being stage. Inge pay biono kere chair maybe boutique no fashion de jalke design ngana malle ngate do contribute no ngati malle no lo miel yobo show no be mo be yobo video in the process before going the show so one know all those people contribute in a way to making you big ibiono ki video ni ibiono ki weni but asla de weja ke kara ko content wax dano ngia yo asla de do u bero ka yele yen pay contributing u yelo building brand take YouTube channel le work TikTok account ma followers etie down but those are his followers. And you have used these followers well kucheri down do ngi ina ono kumberi ni chene mo no ki support the industry wono lo we mero mo mero town pe won can wanna watch it no because ana pay away you get it at time no these people have to be recognized everyone in the creative because they support in one way or the other and the way we cannot be give more major long that's why magi when you work creative arts give me check give me time way unfortunately most of our artists most of them did go to school that's just the unfortunate bit of it because one of the matere car machone but any petien look mumio no work game behavior mumio as a human being umir give tampe jomo can but give more can get down bed gen number chill anyway actually I long meeting with the content creators the other creatives and we sit down because you know most of these artists anybody kagi more team make they are the first magi meeting kitegi mabe like they organize meetings or they mobilize for their fellow what for their fellow musicians and maybe a promoter or other people in the creative they don't take it serious they will never organize a meeting for it I'm telling you it has never happened when you be work give mobilizing kere give being mutaka get yarka chile they don't even anyway they don't when you way more to you pay more you take you magi supporting get charpil the way you can and the other domain because they are silent Peggy is supporting. These are things which have happened because the way they are very good people. That's why I want to know. Work, let's embrace everyone. And that's how now the government had to recognize that is true. Because now it's about the numbers also. In Robert law, because they didn't know what was in our proposal. That's why they came, they made a lot of noise because they didn't know. But some of us we knew what we were doing. Oh, I know. We will not make noise. That's why during that time when you saw there were scaffolds, there are people who were put into things they didn't know. For example, Bosmic team, even confess, there are people who just came to them because Bosmic was abroad. He never knew what was happening. So Bosmic also came. So that day now, the general wrote an email. Otherwise, okay, we can have a meeting with these people so that they know what's happening. They didn't know for us who were there talking for the whole industry. One power no kono kalok pengo p one can. Even them as musicians, we are talking for them because Chete Chalo and Makimi Federation, in only million apart, but give me about the way, but it was not enough. One by promoters, we were very surprised when the general said, ever since music industry get time organizing music industry of Uganda or the creative industry, 65 billion shillings. Don't give me. How is it not here? Ukele was there, who is a musician, who is a chairman of UNCC. They asked him that question in that meeting. Ukele could not say anything. Even Boswick, when he reached there, who were talking about government should support the industry. Boswick got shocked. Why are you looking apart? Boswick actually left, and for him, he started a different way. And paying you gonna join. He didn't know where N is a what? Is an advisor. He's a big person now. You know, he was shocked. Why John Lewy, John Terek, me. He didn't know because he was brainwashed. He didn't take his time because for them they knew him. They knew Nikake was boss one year. He didn't know. So they made him get into what he didn't know. And that's how those guys, because at the end of the day, it's about time. Time is the one which tells everything. You know, well, when those things were happening, some of us we kept quiet and we continued fighting because we knew the target where we were going.
Yeah.
Because you will just be there fighting, but you don't know. For example, you started your things, you knew team of Ganoma, because of coping, because the coping no you pay vision, because the bloggers when get choy my right, the quarrel choy my right can no followers, in pay low that way. Anyway, no. And Jim positive that no marne. You see, and you see you have gone along that line. Many ngara kana karo ubian boy look asro de look genera kumari ati mongo. But at the end of the day is about factual. Sharing and YouTube as well de share TikTok and then ka daga na kiti watching. It doesn't need making noise but not eating you gonna eat it. So basically anywhere one it was for the first time actually in Uganda or the first time in the entire country, magin any team any government we direct to our account. Ma wano yabo chala one down make me Uganda for the very first time. Recently, actually 2 days ago, they even came from the ministry to see Chene, how is it going? Because Chene again gave me a sack of funds for the revolving fund. Money, a gum iti kere chi duoke but no in saving manye ka saving chalo million achiel no qualify gama chalo million there iti kere chi duoko chene ni wan po miyo guarantee mo yeni a ko ngaro mo ko da okel ngo mutaka okel logbook okel ngom inera we because it's for the creatives. So genatia ini kill the worry matika saving chalo garanta any signing bori but no one on do anchene ni benekara we there are mistakes mukene mangaro mani gamo kimidi team kigen for example ka aslo deo mero chene ni no mero bed for the teach make creative pera ke gamo chene cherke ka fu that's what they were again telling us but jomo kene gamo chene kicher ko ka mero fuji de chere ministry mukene ministry of agriculture the money was meant to support the creative industry. For example, Twa got money, and it was among the people who was interviewed. They were very happy because Twa got money, bought what? The Holy Land microphone. Eh? Twa got around 3 million shillings, no, 1 million. With Holy Land microphone, he upgraded with a good iPhone. So they were happy. Take a picture, yeah, give me a future. Because they even didn't know this content thing, they get money out of it. Some of them were being educated and they were shocked. Guinea man. And now in this financial year, government has again set aside 33 billion. My work is again going to get money. You get it? Yeah. So these are things man want to and now it has come. But we are not saying don't give no don't go take your money. No, it's still open. It's still anyone is still free. Carry young he was in the past because at the end of the day, it's not good to pretend ka in equal and they did decola worry. You know, can't issue money tie, you resolve it. Because when you resolve it, it's better. Pero ko ngaro mani chengo to jile eche lela ngaro be mada kono manga recover no pe loko ke ina it's better you face the person utie loko. That's why I issue more tie I make sure I either get that person. It's not good to first go on air when you try through the phone
then you go on air
not somebody cannot it's unreachable. That's when now you go on air because don't ngaro dugula nywa when you're era wera nino chare me no jili ji give because Gilbert go Chimbor Gilbert Pegam. That's why I had to fire Gilbert also. And the reason why I fired Gilbert, I even said it, I had issues with him. Why? He can't help me working. Kicharo make a kilo and because Gilbert, hey kilo and more camera. You get the point. So Narumo no chero, ulogo yero. Jal kono. So embo bino donyata. Chawa yela. I didn't get a more.
exactly
I ain't about beauty.
yeah
So my firing and Embo bearing a solid la yera. Waro bolo atiete bene.
reconciled
Atiete what was in my heart and kumbini. We are very good friends. And now, if you are to see, he has started supporting the industry because he was only supporting the football. And you know these football people, gen beru enker malo way ki other critics. Jo mo to deal ne gi ki supporting deal. Winya jo le province. The way we go ni we no. The church supporting ki rally ngi choko chente. And ka don la way to concert. They will never mobilize. Yeah, tin and a coach, Pachuel province. Well, Lego, Luakmaju, Bunokan, Choro Chulo again, away. They don't. You get the point.
yeah.
So that is the problem. I take it. And I made a gym with Maroon. Kaki mobilize people, look out, Kano supporting the creative banner. Gian get bien big supporting. And work gym with Maroon. And I know this time I was happy with Gilbert because we never take a way loud support it now. Kono province. Actually, picking or the but this time you have seen Gilbert now. He started out to rally and support even the creative arts.
Yeah.
Recently, for an me chilling million me a B again 5 million to these boys. Why go now kere? He didn't know. He just gave them yesterday but one. And I was up. I said, you see that is good because of the pressure and advice. My Arab watch we will. But it should not only be Gilbert. There are a lot of people. For him, it's just a drop in the ocean. A lot of people who have money who can support. You imagine how many MPs do we have from Northern Uganda? How many big honorables more take Makono again give beyond supporting the industry. But Anna win you bene telemono broka logri yeah the way polygamy supporting again and LC5 more take a I just saw a clip a few again ago. Which is also right. You get the point.
yeah.
Ulogo get factual, but of course that individual I know him. He's always negative on the creative art. But again, get negative. Sometimes picking. Look, bangaro can bear when we bear you don't rubbish. So you know not like a checking one bene. One bene we bear chale nero. Ka gimoma DTA one chalo creative art we watch was supporting. We don't know. Chimu wangi wa chimu dong ka gian pegi bino ka supporting one. Exactly. But we cannot start chimu wangi ka one poor team geno mir one team.